Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly cult leader today, because today we were going to be continuing on with our ongoing Traveler campaign today, but unfortunately at the last minute we had a couple of players who were unable to join, and rather than waste the time, we have decided to return to, one of my personal favorites, and a game that we've played a fair bit on the last couple of weekends as pickup games, and that will be Helmgast Studios, and also published by Modifius, Kult, Divinity Lost. And that's the, hold on, there we go. If you're looking for it on your own, that will be the cover you are looking for. And with me today are two of the stars of the Traveler campaign and soon to be victims of the Cult, is David and Graham. So I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today and what your familiarity with Cult is. First up, we've got David.
Hi everyone, I'm David. I'll be playing Agent Mike Anderson. I just met him, so we'll see where the journey takes us. And I've never played Cult before. I have one of the books and I've read parts of it, and I've watched some of the live streams on here, but I've not actually had a chance to play it, so I'm quite excited about this.
Nice, excellent. And joining him is Graham.
Hi, I am Graham. I am going to be playing Joey Joseph Novak, a fixer. Bulging eyes, bony, calculating, skinny. I think it might be me. So my experience with Cult, I have played Cult a few times at our local Powered by the Apocalypse convention. And we consistently have a great game with Cult. It is truly bizarre and scary, and we've had some fantastic sessions, so I'm looking forward to being some bizarre and scary.
Nice. So as with our other sessions as well, unfortunately we haven't had time to prep for this, so we are really going to be kind of flying by the seat of our pants with this. We have made use of the Cult, the very cool trait cards for this, so let's just maybe quickly refresh our memories as to what your characters are capable of. For Agent Anderson, your three advantages are Analyst, which is only going to come up when you're doing the Investigate move. You have Burglar, which at the start of a scene, you can make a coolness check, and then you can log some options depending on the outcome of that. And you can spend those options to do different things. Those include like move silently through an silently open a locked door within a few moments, neutralize an alarm, bust a lockbox or safe in less than 2 minutes, avoid being discovered by someone, trick someone into believing you belong here for a limited time, or, similar types of things. A lot of they don't call them edge in this, but a lot of the advantages, they have a similar kind of mechanic where you make a roll at the start of a scene, you log some narrative metacurrency, and you spend that stuff over the course of it. The other one you've got is Field Agent, which is a more violent thing, similar type of thing. You make a roll at the start of it, and you spend your edges to... yours are take cover, so you avoid a damage from a range attack, chokehold, lock someone in a opponent in a grip they can't get out of, disarm someone, or use an improvised weapon. For the way I rule it, or I have been ruling it at least, spending either your options or your edge don't count as a move. There's something on top of what you're, going to be doing when it comes to your turn, as it were. For Joey, Joey has, let's see here, he has Sixth Sense, which is start of each game session. Okay, cool. You make your roll, and then you can log options. Things include like act first in a threatening situation, sense whether someone wishes you good or ill, or discover a sense or clue or lead when you're off track. You also have Ace up the sleeve, a similar one. Whenever someone's got you up against the wall or in a tight spot, you make a roll, you get some edges. These can do things like you have a small concealed lethal weapon on you. You realize your opponents have a weakness and can exploit it, getting +2 to your next roll against them. Or you can spot a way out. Ask the GM what it is, and take +2 to your next roll and make use of it. I should say, like, Cult Leader is not what the game calls the Game Master. I just think that's very funny. And then the final one is Streetwise. This is an actual, like, some of the advantages, what they do is they give you moves that you can do that anyone else cannot. And that's what you do here to acquire stuff. So those are Joey's moves. Where I think I mentioned that we have as well. We talked before we went live about the disadvantages. Just for the sake of today's session, I think we're going to just pick up, in medias res, and we're going to make use of a disadvantage called repressed memories. So right now, both of your characters are going to open up without any recollection of what's happened. One thing I will mention, this will be for those who have played Powered by the Apocalypse games before, this won't be anything new. But the way that we effectively make our way through the story, I'm going to move... There we go. I got Joey's character sheet underneath Joey's advantages, and I got Mike's under Mike's advantages. And then right under that, I've got the 2 lists for cheat sheets for the character moves. The way that we move our way through the story is by use of the... Oh, god dang it. What did I do? I minimized my move sheet underneath my camera. So I do like that the cameras pop in front of things. That's very good now, but I just need to be careful with that. So the way that we move, we make our way through the story is with your characters making moves. I mentioned before we went live that you can certainly request things and whatnot and say, I'd like to make an X move or a Y move. You can also just simply say, I want to do this or whatnot, and I might say, well, that sounds like you're trying to make a, do whatever move. One thing that I really like about this game is that the moves feel very intuitive. They're not as abstracted as what I found for some other Powered by the Apocalypse games. At least it was a challenge I had with really getting into the spirit of them. They feel a lot more intuitive. And then there's also resistances. There's 3, you have 3 saving throws effectively, fortitude, reflexes, and will, that are used for 3 specific ways of minimizing my moves on you, things that, shitty things that happen to your characters in there. It's avoiding harm, enduring injury, and keep it together. Keep it together is probably going to come up a fair amount. If you look on page 2 of your character sheet, there will be a section. There's wounds at the top. If you have any wounds in there, feel free to take all those away. And then there is stability at the right underneath that. Under stability, you can raise that back up to composed, because we're not going to start you. You got plenty of ways for your stability to go down. So, and then under condition, you guys are going to. You can feel free to reduce the. What do you call it? Or rather, eliminate any conditions that are on there as well. You're not coming into this being scared or angry or whatever. Again, plenty of opportunity for that to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Now, one of the things that you do in a normal game of Kult is your characters will have, you'll establish what are called dramatic hooks. And what that is you set things that you would like the character to do over the course of the session. And if you see those play out over the course of the session, they gain XP for the characters. It's in the first session, it's either the player of the character or the player of the character working with the GM who established those. But after that first session, it becomes the other players who recommend what the hook should be. Like, oh, that was neat that you played up this in the last session. I think it would be cool for you to do that, or it's establishing requesting scenes in the thing, and everyone does that for one another in it. It makes for a really interesting soft structure to each session, in addition to whatever the story is that you're exploring. Your character's coming into this with no experience or whatnot, so we're not going to worry about that. So let's do this. Where our scene will open is, and we'll make use of some of your abilities or your advantages right away. But I think it's probably with Joey waking up, or Joey is awake first. So we hear Joey's voice talking to Mike. And I think that you can assume, and you guys tell me if I got this wrong, that you both know one another, but in that antagonistic kind of more of a nuisance criminal than a hardcore, you're not a violent criminal, you're not a, your crimes are mostly inoffensive. So, and you may have been a source of information for Agent Anderson at some point. And similarly, Anderson, Joey may be the one who has been of assistance, probably not by his choice, but he is a cooperating witness in some capacity. So there is that kind of classic antagonism between, Stooley, who doesn't want to work for the feds, but also, works with the feds. Does that work for both of you guys?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Joey, why don't you tell us what Anderson would hear as you're desperately trying to tell him to wake up?
I will start with Mr. Anderson. Would you please wake up and take a look around you?
So,
If nothing happens, I'll shake him.
so you're going to have difficulty doing that because you are currently handcuffed with your arms behind you to what is like a radiator, like a pipe of somewhere in an ancient basement. And it's that kind of old basement that has like trash dating back to the 1950s, where there's, boxes of eerie toys and there's, the shelves full of like, hardware supplies like hammers and saws and whatnot that may have been, date back to whenever this thing was originally built, sitting in an open, like an open wooden, those like wooden handle toolboxes that like kids make in shop class. That's where you guys are. You are on one side of this room. The foundation here is also like big stone stuff. It's not poured concrete. So we know this is a really old place. There's diffused light that's coming into here as well. You can hear the creak of people moving around upstairs. And Anderson is similarly chained up, with his arms behind him. But he's probably at the, at the next set of pipes, probably about maybe 10 feet away from you. So you're close enough to be able to like stage whisper to one another, but, not close enough to be able to reach. You might, if you screamed, you might be able to get like toe to toe. So what both of you realize, I guess let's get things rolling here. Why don't you each give us a keep it together move, because you don't remember what happened before you got here. This is, no, hold on, actually, not that. Give us a 2d10 roll, not exploding. We're going to roll for your repressed memories roll. Let's see how much you remember about how got you here. Oh,
Nothing.
okay, unsurprisingly, Joey is handling this pretty well. So what I'm looking at in Kult, because you're using 2d10 for all dice rolls, a 15 or higher is generally like a free and clear good result, or like optimal result. 14 to 10 is like your mixed result, and 9 or less is a not great result. Often it is a fail forward kind of thing, so you'll still be able to achieve whatever you're doing in the move, but often shitty things will happen. That's not always the case. Some things you just, won't be able to achieve. But so with 15, Joey, you still have no recollection of how you got down here, but it really doesn't seem to bother you at all.
I'm just another toy that's going to be forgotten for 100 years.
Yeah. With Mike, however, you are overwhelmed by your repressed memories, completely losing yourself to them. I get to make a hard move, and you lose 2 stability. Now, normally you would be able to roll for keep it together, but in this one, for this particular background, you don't actually, like, there is a result that allows you to do that, so I'm assuming you cannot do that. So what that means, if you can go to page 2 and reduce your stability, you are currently unfocused. One of the nice things is injuries, when they're not treated, when they're not stabilized, they impose penalties to your rolls. But otherwise, however far down your stability track you get, you don't suffer penalties to any of your moves except for keeping it together. So there is a death spiral in the game, but it's only when in relation to your stability.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel, Mr. Anderson, being the one that's cuffed?
And what I'm going to say is I'm going to make a hard move of you immediately try and pull yourself, and what you end up doing is you're going to suffer a harm 3 as you wrench your bad shoulder. So what you can do is you can make a avoid harm, check, or actually, I don't think I'm gonna let you make it avoid harm. This will be strictly endure injury. So endure injury is a fortitude roll. You take as a negative penalty the rating of the harm, and that tells us what the outcome is.
-3.
So -3 to your endure harm. Oh my god!
I'm having a bad day.
Holy smokes! So this is
Keep it down. Don't stop screaming. Stop screaming.
so yeah. What do we see?
As you try and wake me up, I think because I've been lost in the repressed memories, I violently jerk awake, and because I'm tied up, obviously from some previous mission, I have a shoulder injury where I was maybe shot, and I just sort of do the sort of rattling, and it just pain, agony shoots through me.
So you're the one who
die.
Yeah, you're the one who gets to choose whether you get a critical injury or whether it's a serious injury. I might suggest the knocked out thing, because you've already got a conscious other player character in here who could.
Yeah, I think I'll be conscious just long enough to like stare across the room and sort of vaguely maybe just go like Novak, what? The pain just shoots through, and I sort of slump back down.
Anderson. Oh.
So let's do this on your on page 2. If you could put down record a serious wound, which will be like, you can record it as bad shoulder or whatever. Joey, what would you like to do?
Panic. Okay. Think. The agents of no use whatsoever. I can't believe it.
Before we do,
yeah.
Start of your session. Would you give us a soul check, please?
I will try and do that. Let me just check that. So find my soul.
Soul is under see through the illusion, I think, is the move.
I didn't realize I had one. Do I just click the phrase under it? Is that what I do?
Yeah, just click on the phrase, and that'll make the roll for you.
And modifiers is 0.
Zero
right?
modifier, yeah.
Got you.
Nice. Oh, yeah. You would not do well there, Mike. So this is actually only because Joey's advantage 6 cents. We roll for that at the start of the session.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got 11. Okay. So you got 2 options that you can use at any point during the session for 6 cents. That's act first in a threatening situation, sense whether someone says good or evil, or discover or sense a clue or lead when you're off track.
Okay, so act first and discover a clue.
Yeah, and you can feel free. Like I'm usually pretty good about if you've got something else that you suggest that might bear in with the 6th sense. The other thing, yeah. I think we can safely say that you're in a tight spot, right?
Yes.
So why don't you give us a coolness check for, and that's act under pressure is the action, and this will tell us how many edges you've got for this scene from Ace Up the Sleeve.
Yeah, okay. Come on, Joey. Hold it together, boy. Come on.
Let's see, big money. Oh! So you get 1 edge, but the situation is worse than you imagined. I get to make a move.
Yeah, it is worse. He's out. He might even be dead. He's just dribbling. He's just dribbling on the.
Okay, so you have. Let's see here. And here's what your edges can be spent on as examples. A small concealed lethal weapon. You realize the opponent has a weakness against you, +2 on your next roll, or spot a way out. Ask the GM what it is. Take +2 on your next roll. But. What I'm going to do, though, I get to make a move before you make any of those spends. So what you hear is there is, as you can imagine, a creaky set of poorly made stairs that lead up to the main level of this thing. Door opens up, and you hear someone clattering down. The footfalls it's creaking heavily underneath the stairs. And there is the way they sound, they're coming down is like the casual way, as if someone has come up and down these stairs before. If I was going down some rickety stairs like this, I might take care and be grab the handle. Whoever's coming down does not care. And who walks into view, Joey, is someone that you have. I'm not sure you're familiar with this person. He's passed away, unfortunately, but it's what's his name? Sid something or other. He's the guy from Sid Haines. Is that his name? Sid Gaines? I don't remember. But he's in like The Hills Have Eyes, and he Bone Tomahawk. He's in. He was one of those guys who appeared in a ton of horror films. Okay. Let's see here. He's in Portrait of a Serial Killer as well.
I'm afraid those are not.
Yeah, these are not, all references are not helping here. Let's hear. Tomahawk.
Don't seem to have a theme of it's not going to be good news.
It's not good news. No. Sid Haig, I think his name is. Hold on, let's see if I'm right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Sid Haig. So that's Sid Haig.
Oh yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Morning.
So he comes down, and you can see there's a big fuck off revolver stuffed into his belt of his pants. He has clearly an outfit put together by him by the personal shopper at Bikers R Us, and he walks out and looks down at you. Says, "You're making a lot of noise down here."
Yeah, he's got a sore shoulder. It's golf. I think it's the golf. His golf. You could call it a handicap.
You talk a lot.
Well, you just seem like a good listener.
He stalks over towards you and gets in real close. The mixture of cheap beer, body odor, and thick tobacco breath as he gets down and looks down. I'll listen real good. But don't worry. He grabs your mouth and kind of in a way that makes you as an adult man feel like a child. Like he's got those big meaty hands. Don't worry, we're gonna make you talk a lot soon. He slams your head back so you hit your head against no harm or anything from it, but very not rough. And he turns, looks over at where Mike has passed out. Seems satisfied that he's passed out again. And he makes his way up the stairs, and he says, "Chickens are almost ready for plucking, boys!" Woo! And you hear the door shut.
I wonder if he's somebody's uncle. Oh, poor bastard.
There is something you recognize as he turns around, and you remember. He's part of some kind of motorcycle club that you're familiar with. Okay. They call themselves the Twin Kings.
Okay.
And something's vaguely coming together with you where you were going to work something out with Mike Anderson, with A.J. Anderson about setting these Twin Kings up for a bust. Your head is swimming right now, so you really can't remember particulars of it. But now, Joey, that was simply your the outcome of your ace up the sleeve. You still have that edge logged, and you got your 2 from Sixth Sense. What would you like to do?
So what's one of the options to try and find a way out?
Spot a way out.
Spot a way out.
I think if you look up, there is... if you turned around, this pipe does not look like it's particularly strong. If you could somehow get yourself up and turned around, you might be able to just yank the pipe. But the trouble is, so here's, I think, the options. You can do that automatically, but it's absolutely going to make a lot of noise. You could act under pressure to try and do it in such a way that you're able to get just enough free to slip your thing off without, it fully coming off of the wall, clattering to the ground, and then making noise to bring, Mr. Charming back down again.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want him to come back. So cursing one too many evenings in a speakeasy, and the fact that I'm just not really in shape, and I will attempt almost certainly impossible, and try to do that quietly and to edge it rather than force it, as it were.
Okay. So why don't you give us a act under pressure move, please?
I would love to do that. So he's cool. Yeah, Joey's together. He might be physically very much, but he's been in worse situations.
Yeah.
Let's just go for a straight roll then. No modifiers. Submit.
Here we go.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us what it looks like as you how do you get yourself free of this thing?
Okay, it's almost like I shimmy up with using the sort of counterbalancing my weight on and using the chain as a way of working up and over. I sort of dropped to the floor, presumably still chained.
Yeah.
Sort of stunned, really.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of actually at least free of that, and then my mind is racing. Can I? There were tools there. Was there anything I can do to sort of bust open the chains, maybe, and certainly try and get Mr. Anderson cogent?
You have yet to make use of your ace up the sleeve. I don't think it'd be unreasonable for Joey to have lockpicks on him.
Oh yeah, that would be very Joey. If they haven't taken them from me because they were too confident, then yeah, I've got them.
You're still wearing all your stuff. They seem to think they had you.
I'm gonna, yeah, surely. I mean, I'm used to these kind of things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think I've done these a few times.
Yes. Where do you think Joey hides them? Like, I mean, not the prison. I'm not implying the prison wallet. I'm more meaning that,
No. I think he's got them in an inside lined pocket, sort of kind of like tucked away, but it's actually semi sewn into the inside of it, so you can just slip in and slip them out.
Okay. So you're able to get that in. So yeah, you spend that edge. You've got that, and you're able to. For yourself,
I think he's super. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're able to just because you're spending that edge. You're able to get yours off.
Okay.
You look around and you look down at the unconscious form of Agent Anderson.
No. I'll try and get his handcuffs off.
Okay. So I think this will be an act under pressure only because the potential is Anderson making noise because his arm is out of fucking socket right now.
Yeah.
And, they did see that you were ready the chickens were ready.
Act under pressure. Okay, still cool. Yeah, I think Anderson has his tools kind of in a pocket over his heart. He's superstitious that one day it might just protect him with one stray shot or something. And he's got this sort of,
Is it Joey? Sorry, or
this is Joey. Yeah,
Joey.
sorry.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go with a any modifier on this. Was it straight?
For this, I think you know what? I'll give you a +1 to it. And remember, don't put the plus sign in, but I'll give you a 1 to it because you've done it already with the. These are the. It seems like the FBI handcuffs. Yeah.
Nice.
So what do we see as you unlock his thing and Mike slowly kind of regains consciousness?
I just say just whatever you do, just quiet, just be quiet.
Oh, your shoulder is killing you, Anderson. And I think so. Here, let me give you. We'll do a couple things with you before we get going. First off, in this scene, let's roll your burglar and see how many options you have to work with. So that'll be coolness. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm just gonna leave you.
All right, so
you know what? That's probably for the best.
You do get one option out of here, so you will be able to use this at some point in the scene. You silently open a locked door for a few moments. You neutralize an alarm. You bust a lockbox. You avoid being discovered by someone. You trick someone into believing you belong. And then again, like you can go beyond that if it makes sense in the context of your burglar. Do you think that you're getting into combat right now, or there's a potential of violence? If so, we can roll your field agent as well. I mean, technically, I get to make a move right now.
I think his eyes will flutter open, and he'll see Joey in front of him, and it's probably that antagonism. His first reaction is of, Novak, what the fuck did you do? And it's like,
yeah. Oh. So, and that's when you hear the door throw open, and once again, Uncle Sid comes downstairs. boy, if I knew you were so anxious to come down. And as soon as he gets down the stairs, he sees that you're free, Joey, and it's like, what the? And he's reaching for his gun and drawing his gun out. That's the extent of my move right now. So then, I guess first off, you can make your field agent roll beforehand, not as a move. If you do, though, just be aware that one of the consequences is I get to make a move if you roll 9 or less. Did you want to roll that now, get those edges banked, or do you want to one of you take a move first?
I think Anderson will almost instinctively reach for where he assumes his gun would normally be. No idea whether it's there, probably not, but he'll just instinctively reach for it. So.
Why don't you give us your field agent roll? Let's see what. So that'll be a violence that you're rolling.
Come on.
All right, so you got 1. Then I get to make a move. So you do have 1 edge banked. Mm-hmm. So you can feel free to make use of it. You got 1 edge and 1 option with burglar. This guy is reaching into his. He reaches into his, or he's pulled that revolver out. He points it over, and let me grab the revolver because I think I can actually shoot both of you. One of the things I do like about game 2 is that each of the attacks has different options in it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so, wait, hold on. I'm not using the handgun. I'm using a revolver. Let's see here. Where's that revolver? So here's what I'm using is the weapons deck for this, and it's got the rules on it.
It's a good job I've got an ace up my sleeve.
It really is a good job. Well, also with that 1 listed. Okay, so here's what's going to happen is, oh, you know what? The revolver. Oh, it's not a revolver. It's just a handgun. I could use the other one. I'm going to use the other one for these stats because that's what I was picturing.
The other one?
The handgun, which means I can attack both of you with a harm 1.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's better than a harm 4 against one of you in this one. All right. So then, I'm going to be inflicting a harm 2 on each of you as he's just firing away blindly at the 2 of you. What you can do is you can avoid harm to try and not be hit by this. You can just endure injury to just take the harm and try and get rid of it. You'll always be able to do that if you fail on the avoid harm, or you can make use of one of your edges or options. So how would you guys like to do this? I mean, surely, David, you have all of your, 9s or less out of your system now. So,
fingers crossed. But wait, should I be taking ongoing -1 for my bad shoulder?
Yes, for right now, you're going to have -1 for your bad shoulder.
Okay, so I don't think it includes that automatically. So
I don't have
to remember.
Yeah,
I mean, my rolls have been bad enough as is. So.
True.
I don't think it makes a difference.
So, which of you would like to? If not, I can just go in order of. I've got you guys. Agent Anderson, what would you like to do?
I'm tempted to say he'll dive to cover, but I think seeing as he's just regained consciousness and is in pain, he's just lying there and he'll sort of try and avoid harm. But
okay, so
it's
give
not
us
quite fully
go ahead and give us an
yet.
avoid harm check at -1. Let's see here. Come on, you're due that nat 20 now.
Yeah, nope.
All right, so you didn't. I think what you do is you roll to the side and accidentally kind of hit one of those crap-filled things. So you're still going to suffer harm, but it's all that rusty, tools and whatever else falling down. So I'll just increase the harm by 2. Give us an endure injury roll at -2, please. -3 actually, because you're injured shoulder. Look at that. So success with complications. I think so. You don't take the injury, but you are currently underneath the collapsed shelf and whatnot. So you're going to have to deal with that complication. Joey, what about you? How do you want to deal with this?
Well, with him back and with him with me up against the wall and in a tight spot, can I use the ace up the sleeve again?
No. Once per scene is the way I'm going to rule that.
Look and see. Okay, no problem at all. In which case, I will. So my general strategy here is to get out of the way if I can. So I'm going to try and avoid harm rather. I mean, because he's.
Yep.
Joey always tries to avoid harm, so he's going to sort of try and dive forward.
How many options do you have in Sixth Sense?
I have got 3 options. Act first in a threatening situation. Oh, so I've got 2. Act first and discover a clue.
Yeah. Okay. So you can call on those 2. So.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll act first.
Yeah. So actually, so we may actually go back and bomb Berlin here. So you can see I'm trying to make my move here. He's brought that gun up. He's going to fire at you guys. What is Joey going to do?
Well, I think he would instinctively I mean, he's hopeless, and this is a big guy, but he's going to throw himself at him and try and sort of push his arm up and sort of near him in the balls or something, and just try and get the gun out of the way so it doesn't hit anything.
So here's some options for unarmed. Just so you have some idea to pick from. Punch, kick, tear does 1 point of damage or 1 harm. Lock is you're in control of the target until they break free. Shift, you create distance between yourself and the target. Disarm, you remove an object from their thing. Or excessive force, you focus entirely on killing your target, disregarding your own safety, and do 2 harm.
Okay, so it's disarm. What I'm going to try and do is use my speed, he says, thinking about all those sort of late night pizzas.
Yeah.
Just try and use the speed and try and actually use his weight against him and almost try and push him and trip him so that he actually just falls back.
Okay, so you're not disarming him, you just want to knock him over against the stairs?
I kind of want to hold him by the hands where he's got the gun and try and, as he falls, pull the gun out of his hands.
I think you're going to get to do one of those things unless you get... well, here's what I'll let you do. Why don't we do this? We'll give you... Because you're trying to do 2 things out of that. Why don't we give you a -2 so you can engage in combat at -2 to try and get both of those done, or you can pick one with no penalty.
I'll just try and take the gun off him.
Okay. So here we go.
So which is that? Sorry.
So that's engage in violence, or engage in combat. It's violence.
Excellent. That's exactly what he loves to do. Not.
Okay.
It was predictable.
Does not go as anticipated. You may be subject to bad luck, miss your target, or pay a high price for your assault. I make a move. All right, so let's think this through. So you were trying to interrupt him with this. So what he's done instead is, I think he is going to try... I'm going to let as you're running in, he sees you coming in and just like clarks you right on the nose with the butt of his gun. So you'll take, and this is I'll use the rules for...
Can I try and endure the injury? Or?
You absolutely, or avoid injury as well.
I'll try and get
each of these always comes
with
a consequence of a failure, so whichever one you prefer. He's trying to full-on knock you down, and so you take 1 point of damage, and you'd be knocked down to the ground.
I'll try and avoid it.
Yeah, go right ahead. Give us a reflex check, no modifier. Okay, so you avoid the worst of it. So I think you're not going to take any damage, but you are knocked to the ground. So he tries to hit you, and that's when he turns. He fires at you, and then fires at Anderson. So we're back in the position where we were. Anderson, you've kind of gone on the side. Yeah. So Joey, you still have 2 harm that you could try and resist here. Do you want to try and avoid harm for this, like as he's trying to shoot you again, or do you want to just endure injury? For Joey, yeah. What's happened is you with Sixth Sense, you sort of raced in at him. He knocked you to the ground. He then shot you and shot at Anderson. And we'll just use the result that we got for Anderson's rolls from before.
Okay. Yep. Well, he'll try and avoid it if he can.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Same thing, no modifiers. Let's see if we scramble out of the way on the hard ground.
Come on. I've got nothing I can spend on it. Go.
Nice.
Oh!
Nice.
All right.
Wow.
So Uncle Sid has gone. Who would like to go next?
Can I? You mentioned some tools. Can I grab a hammer or something? Just hit him in the back of the head or something? I don't know.
I think you'd have to. I think to grab it and be ready to go. Then this would be an act under pressure. Because you're
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he is under pressure. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead as Joey scrambles to his feet and tries to grab some kind of improvised weapon here.
But Joey's always thinking, I've had worse. I've had worse than this. So he's pretty cool.
Oh, shit. All right. So then there are serious consequences. You made a mistake and you're exposed to danger. So I think you race up and you grab something and you grab up a hammer, and the head of it goes flying off because it's so old and damaged. Then he just looks at you and shoots once again. So you'll have to avoid harm or take 2 harm.
He's just thinking, trying to avoid harm. And all he's thinking is, I hope my thieves' tools work. No. It's just
all right,
much
so this
for
normally
Joey.
wouldn't knock you down, but this is you're knocked down by this, and then you're gonna have to endure injury at -2.
Endure injury. Endure.
So be fortitude.
Injury. Thank you. There it is. And at -2, yes.
-2, please, yeah.
And you put the -2 in.
You put the -2, yeah. Just the plus symbol will cause this program to collapse.
Gotcha.
Okay.
-2. Sorry, and submit.
Go. Ooh,
Nice.
all right.
Pretty good.
So you're good. But you already were knocked down by the other one. So what'll this be? Is there anything? I think it'll be a serious wound. So you've got you call it grazed or something like that. It's not a big thing. So just or shot in the side, however you want to phrase your injury. That'll be at -1, untreated right now.
So I'll click that now.
Yeah. Then Mike, so you're currently underneath all this crap and detritus. What would you like to do?
I will try and free myself as an initial, just sort of scrambling out, pushing, wincing at the pain in my shoulder, trying to get out before he can shoot again.
And then what would you like to do once you're free?
If Joey has sort of been pushed to the ground and slightly away from him, I think Mike will try, as he sort of frees himself, to just make the shelf collapse the other way, and hopefully crap will fall down on Sid.
Sure. Yeah. So why don't I think it'll be like before. We'll make it an act under pressure at either act under pressure or engage in combat, either at -1. Oh, hold on. You got a field agent roll. You could also remember, you can just one of your edges that you could spend is just to inflict damage. Do 2 points of damage.
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure if this was kind of close combat.
It says it's in close combat, but maybe you guys are close enough together. It's as you say. Your call.
Yeah, in that case, I will use the shelf of old tools as an improvised weapon.
Sure. So he just falls and he's hit. There's a nasty gash on his head that's bleeding down. To give you a sense, most humans will take 3 harm and then they're dead. So he's got 2 harm already. Okay. Now you can make a move as well, because that one was a free. Are you just going to try and free yourself, or you want to grab anything? Because what I'm picturing is that you could probably, maybe you, like, from where you're positioned, you could see that there's a weakening in the thing, and even from down on the ground, you've knocked out part of the support of the thing, and that's what fell onto Uncle Sid.
Yeah, I think Anderson will try and free himself so he can reach to try and disarm him of the gun.
Sure. So I think, why don't we just do either avoid harm or act under pressure. This is to get yourself up without getting any cuts or bruises or whatever from the crap that's on you.
Okay. Act under
Dealer's
pressure.
choice. And then you got -1.
Act under pressure, yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit. All right. So as you're pulling yourself out, I think you hear the door throw open, and there's another two guys who are upstairs who's like, "Hey, what's going on down there?" Sid.
Oh.
Yes.
Then it is. Let's see here. Then it'll be. Okay, I'll take a move for Uncle Sid. So Uncle Sid is, I think, because of the Clark on the head, he turns like kind of stalks up to Joey, and it's like, click, 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 because he did the attack against 2 and the attack against you. He's out of ammo. He throws the thing open. He's going to start reloading his revolver this round. One of you gets to go next. What would you like to do? The door is open at the top of the stairs. There are people up there. Uncle Sid has a nasty gash on his head, but he does seem to be reloading. Joey, you're on the ground having been shot.
I think.
He's got his back to you.
Yeah, I think as his focus on Joey, I think Anderson will just throw himself and sort of try and push him out of the field of view of the stairs and away from Joey.
Awesome.
You might get one of those.
So go ahead and give us an engage in combat roll of violence. See how that goes. Oh my god! Holy crap!
The worst mission ever.
Yeah, really. Okay, so does not go as expected. You may be subject to bad luck, miss your target, or pay a high price for your assault. So I think you just go in and your shoulder is the problem here. Like you try and go in and push, and you're like, because like you only failed by 1. So it's got to be the shoulder is the reason that played in, and he's able to like get off of me, and throw you to the side. Why don't you give us an avoid harm check to avoid falling prone once again? You stumble back, and there's so much crap in this basement. I think it's easy to.
Once again, it's a shoulder. It's the -1 from the shoulder.
Ladder through, and you are underneath. Give us a endure injury with -2. This will only be a harm 1 for this.
I'm starting to think he was injured and hasn't really been cleared for field duty yet, but is off-piste and should be at a desk, really.
Success! Look at that.
Finally.
No problem. Okay. Then, so that was your Anderson. You tried to push him down. Joey, this guy threw Anderson off him like, you'd toss a child off of you. What are you doing, Joey?
I mean, he's still got the hammer handle in his hand.
Yes, he does.
And he's pathetic at this, but it's a desperate move. He's going to try and smash him. Maybe smashing the gun out of his hands, but certainly just trying to smash him. He's a big target, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so then with crushing weapons, let's tell you about your options here include just doing 2 pummel, maul, crush to 2 points of damage, knock down with 1 point of damage, or knock out 1 point of damage, and the target is knocked out.
We'll go for the latter if I can manage.
The latter, you got it. Go right ahead. Give us engage in combat. You got -1 because of the gunshot.
Yeah, does that, because I've ticked it, does that automatically go in?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll put it in. No problem. -1. Here we go.
Come on. Oh,
yeah. I mean, he's got a -1 to violence to start with.
Joey's a lover, not a fighter. All right.
He's a talker. He's a talker.
So you race, go in towards him, and he, again, just kind of like grabs you as you're coming in and just throws you to the side. Why don't you avoid harm against 1? He's trying to toss you back against that. There's maybe an old dresser or desk down here that you're going to hit up against.
And Joey's flying through the air. He says, "Yeah, I deserve that." I'll put the -1 in as well. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so you avoid the harm. So you're just prone, I think, is the thing. Is that you hit and you kind of clatter to the ground. Oh, and you drop the handle. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
So for his round, it's a revolver. He's going to have to finish stocking things up. And what he says is, "I got no problems down here, boys. I just got to deal with them chickens." And then he does that badass thing, twitching his revolver to the side, and it's reloaded. You
It's been a
both.
great game. Thanks so much.
What would you guys like to do?
Oh,
So Anderson, you're on the ground with another collapsed, what do you call it, shelf on you, but you're not, you're not injured by it. Joey, you've dropped your weapon, but you're just prone. That's it. You're not hurt anymore.
just desperate. I'm completely open. You'll just have to try and say something like, "Yeah, shoot me, and you don't get all that money."
Okay. So give us a influence other, please. -1.
Oh yeah, influence other. There you go. At least that's something that he's always thinking about. Talking -1. Let's see where we go.
Look at that.
Nice.
So he pauses. And blood coming from his bald head still.
Yeah.
He's not shooting you this round, at least, or doesn't seem like he's going to. Mike, what would you like to do?
I'm not sure if this would work, but I think I would like to call upon my burglar advantage.
Yeah.
To avoid being discovered by someone.
Okay, what are you thinking?
So I'm thinking that he's so focused on Joey right now because he's so confident and he's just been offered money and it's like, Mike is hoping he'll reach for like a wood chopping hatchet or anything that's within reach and then just sort of try and rise behind him.
Yeah.
And take him down.
So I'll actually give you if Joey is, I'm not sure if he intended to do this, if he's happy to give up his +1, you can use the +1 from his distraction, and I'll give you a +2 from using that option. So you'll have +3 to you. Remember, don't put the plus sign in, but
Yep.
And you're grabbing a hatchet?
Whatever is near there, so there'll be some sort of old-fashioned wood chopping, one-handed axe
So that
type
could
thing
be.
lying around.
Here's the two options for this: is cut and slice to do 2 points of damage, or and actually I think there's a chopping. Yep, chopping weapons. Here we go. Fucking love this game. Look at this.
Of course there is.
Chopping weapons, you can hack/chop for 2 points of damage, or momentum to do 1 point of damage to 2 targets as you swing it through them.
You're good for the two focus on one target, at least big enough for two.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us a engaging combat at +3.
Yeah.
-1.
Unless you
Go
go
back to +2 because of the shoulder, right?
Yeah. Come
Joey's
on,
saying,
baby.
"A lot of money."
Let's see. Come on. Yeah. So, what's it look like as you plant this thing in Uncle Sid and he dies?
I think Joey will probably see Mike sort of reach for around the floor, and then his hand reaches on this axe, and it's like, and very quietly gets up and almost predator style behind Sid, and then just brings it down with one hard chop.
Shunk. So
And
you
then
hear
like-
this wet thwunk sound, and his eyes kind of twitching at you, Joey, and he does that, horror movie thing where he slowly turns around and you can see there's a axe with full handles, like 3/4 of the way into the back of his skull. He drops to the ground. I think, Joey, would you give us a keep it together check, please?
Yeah, I will do that thing. And is that also at -1?
Yeah, from your shot. Yeah.
Yeah, from the shot. That just counts for everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It couldn't have happened to a nicer man.
Okay. So he turns and drops to his knees, and he drops that now fully loaded revolver to the ground. So, from up top of the stairs, you can hear the two, Sid? Sid, what's going on down there? What would you guys like to do?
Anderson would like to grab the gun
Okay, so...
and double checks it to make sure it's been loaded correctly. And
Yep. So the handgun has 4 ammo. You can shoot normally to do 2 points of damage for 1 ammo. You could do overkill, 3 points of damage with 2 ammo, or multiple targets, 2 points of damage to 2 different targets at 3 ammo.
Okay.
I'll shout up the stairs, please. No more.
Why don't you give us I think it's an influence other.
It's a shame that wound doesn't automatically put it in. Okay, go. Oh!
Oh, wow. Nice.
Holy hell. So they laugh like, Sid, I don't want to see what he's going to do to them. And you hear the door close behind, leaving you guys downstairs. So that will be the end of that scene. So you guys will be able to refresh some of your abilities for the next one if you choose. I love that there's always a risk of trying to use them anyway. So with now Uncle Sid face down with that axe, sitting out of him, kind of, Excalibur in the stone style. A weapon in your hand, Anderson, your arm fucking killing you, and Joey with a nasty wound on the side. What are you guys going to do? You still can't remember how the fuck you got here.
I think Anderson will sort of slump against one of the support pillars and then just stare over at Joey and just assume it's Joey's fault that we're here. It's like, Novak, what did you do? What? It's nice and simple. Where are we?
I saved your life. I saved your life again. And how have you lived for so long? How? You're fine, but once you're on the street, you're a nightmare.
Focus, Joey. Where are we? How do we get out of here?
Twin Kings. Think Twin Kings. We're in the Twin Kings.
That rings a bell.
Safe house.
So first thing I want to mention, actually two things I want to mention. One, normally you need to treat serious wounds, you need a first aid kit. But what you can do is I will let you act under pressure to try and treat this as if normally you need to act under pressure in order to treat a critical wound. So we're just going to make it as difficult. This will be you like banging your shoulder back in place, Mike. And for you, Joey, it would be a matter of like, bandaging up the wound on the side with what's available.
Yeah.
As soon as it's treated, you don't suffer or as soon as it's stabilized, you don't suffer the penalty any longer to your rolls. That would be the reason to try that.
Yeah, seeing as we seem to have a moment thanks to Joey's amazing distraction.
So whenever you are ready, give us act under pressure. Yeah, so you do that, slam it in place, grit your teeth. You can mark it as stabilized now, which means you're not suffering the penalty. And Joey, you can have Anderson if you feel that, if you guys want to metagame it a little bit. I don't know who's got a better coolness bonus.
It's got to be Joey.
Coolness is 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah. This is not our first rodeo.
Yeah. So Joey,
you're the field agent. You're the field agent. Deal with this.
So that way you're actually not suffering. If you're doing it, you're not suffering Joey's injury penalty then.
Yeah, I'll try and staunch the wound with what is around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Act under pressure.
Don't think about the infection. Don't think about the infection.
Yeah, just...
No. I think I'm leaking mozzarella down there.
All right. Wow. So Joey, you are likewise bound. You can mark your bullet wound or whatever you've called it as stabilized as well. You're not suffering any penalties any longer. Now, we're going to take our mid-session break in a moment here, but would you guys like to try and stock up on either your field agent burglar, ace up the sleeve edges before? I ask because there is a consequence with failure. I mean, the field agent probably not because you're not in obvious combat, so really just be burglar or ace up the sleeve.
Yeah, I think now that we have Moon to patch up, he'll obviously start looking around to see how we could get out of here, so I think...
Okay, so go ahead and give us
more like breaking and exiting rather than breaking and entering.
Yeah. Give us a coolness check, please.
Coolness, where are you? No.
So you're going to have 1, but a problem arises. I get to make a move. So I think the door opens and they're like, all right, Sid, that's enough. Rebecca's ready for them. Come on. And they're starting to come down the stairs. Joey, what would you like to do?
and refresh the ace up the sleeve.
Yeah, go
I'm
right
always
ahead.
looking for a way out.
Heck yeah.
I'm still looking for a way out. Who knows? I think this is how I do it. Let me just see if this
Okay,
is
so that'll be
gonna come out
coolness as well. Look at that, Joey.
Nice.
All right, so Joey, you got 2 edges. So that doesn't. I'm not going to count that as a move for you. You can still either of you can now take a move before they reach the basement.
Okay.
Or you can also spend some of your options. What are you thinking?
Are they coming down the stairs? Do they emerge in like the center of the basement and then it's all around, or do the stairs come
I'm
in at
picturing
one
that
end
there's
of
sort
the
of an
basement?
open area where you guys, like, they're very shortly going to stumble across Uncle Sid's, body. Did anyone take the hatchet out of the back of his head?
No.
There's a warning. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then then probably what they're going to find very shortly is they're going to stumble across his dead body, kind of, right in front of in the open area. They'll first find where the stairs, and they'll also find a bunch of broken, shelves and whatnot.
Which is, Mike will look around to see if there's a place where he could hide, so that if they come down and see the body, they'll be focused on that and won't necessarily immediately spot.
Yeah. 2 ways you can do that. One is by spending, if you spend one of your points or your options from burglar, they're just not going to see you, full stop. The other thing is to act under pressure and try and hide.
I'm going to let the dice decide.
Okay.
We'll save the burglar option.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. An unexpected outcome, a high price, or a difficult choice. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. I think.
Don't leave me. I could be useful.
No, and I got. Oh man, there's one that's come in. So I think what you see is two guys who are very similar to. Oh no! Here's what it is. As you get down, you realize that the thing that you get yourself down and you're getting ready, and that's when you sniff, and you realize that the pipe that Joey burst, like, it's not that it was a dry pipe. It's a natural gas thing.
Fuck.
So the basement is currently filling up with natural gas because of him busting the pipe. And Joey was like, "Lucky days! I didn't break any water pipes. It's fantastic." So that's the complication from that. Joey, you get to make a move as well. What would you like to do?
Cry.
Now you haven't. This basement goes deeper out than what it seems like. This is the kind of house that would have been built without consciousness of a specific zoning area. This is one of those old country houses.
Yeah, I'm looking for a way out. I'm going to look and see if the basement actually has like another place of egress somewhere, sort of deeper in the shadows.
Yeah.
Just go.
Okay, so that sounds like you are observing a situation.
That feels right. That feels spot on. There you go. Perception.
Also dog shit.
It's the worst. Yeah, he just stumbles around, muttering to himself about how it can't be any worse than this. So I think it's just a straight. Oh, okay.
Successful.
All right, for him, that's pretty good.
So you were going to get one question, and you can go beyond these questions that are listed there if there's other information you want to ask. You know what? This is one of those ones where there isn't a consequence. I don't get to make a move. I don't get to make things difficult. It just means that you only get one question.
What is my best way through this?
So you're looking back and forth, and you can see, like a lot of these old things, this must be some kind of like old, storm cellar, because there's storm doors and there's ways to get out at the other end of this basement.
Mike, this way. Clatter.
With Mike cleverly hidden on the other side, ready to ambush things, but now cognizant of the fact that the basement is filling with gas, and Joey seeing a way out, this seems like a perfect time to take our mid-session break. and then we will come back and see what happens next. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. Howdy, everybody. THX, what's going on? Hope the weekend is treating you well. All right. Let me get some other horrible shit ready for the second half here. Where are the rules for blowing up a house with gas? Let's see. Jokes aside, I will say that the like adversary or opponent creation rules in the core rulebook are pretty awesome. You can pretty much build anything you would conceive of in the context of the Kult rules. It's pretty awesome. A long-term goal of... Oh, hey, David, you're back.
Nope.
He's just yapping to himself and the folks at home. Okay. Got my coffee. And I got more awful things planned for you. Yeah.
Bring it on.
All right. So, I think we are all ready to carry on. So then, what will happen next is with you guys, Agent Anderson hidden in one corner. Yeah, let me just actually mark something here. This. Okay. What you see is those two more guys who seem equally big and equally, a little younger than him, but the same type of thing, same markings of the two. It was two kings, I said. Is that right?
Twin kings.
Twin kings come down, and one of them has some pretty nasty scarring on his face, but like long hair and a big beard that's grown over part of the stuff. The other one is just like he's that like unsettlingly free of hair kind of thing, but just like tons of markings and stuff. No eyebrows, no hair, but tons of scarring and such over it. And his body is crazily tattooed. In the center of it, there is a black diamond that has been drawn, and you know it's a diamond because there's actual like whoever has tattooed it has made it look as if it's an actual stone. And there is an Ouroboros running around the outside of that, and then there are two crowns sitting aside those. It's beginning to come back to you, Agent Anderson, of what they're doing, and both of them come down and they have guns in their belt. One of them races down and is like, Sid! And that's the Beardo. He goes down and does that. Scarhead draws his gun out and he sees you, Joey, and he's about to shoot. Both of you guys, what would you like to do?
For me, I'm going to try and dodge out the way, sort of roll and tuck and use the darkness if it is dark in this end of the...
So that sounds to me like you're acting under pressure, trying to get yourself in a position where you can't be shot.
Yeah. I'll try that.
Okay.
Failed.
Oh, God. So you stumble and fall over all the crap that's on the ground.
Yeah.
And, and you are right down. That's, I think, more than enough consequence. I am going to make a move. Oh, boy. I think what this guy does is he stalks over to you, and he has you effectively dead to rights. So this is going to be, if he fires, it's going to be a 4 harm. Like, this is a killing shot kind of thing. And he just, like, gritted teeth. You can almost hear them kind of, like, grinding up against each other. He says, "What the hell did you do?"
Nothing.
Mike, what would you like to do?
I think my field agent training will hopefully kick in.
Yeah.
So...
About time.
I know, right? I've done this before, I swear.
Yeah, simulated.
What would you like to do with your... Oh, is there an edge you want to use from your field agent thing? Or...
Yes, I think I have to refresh it.
Oh, have you not done that yet?
No, I just did the burglar.
So 14, you get 2 edges. So you have 2 edges, and calculating this did not count as a move. What would you like to do?
Ideally shoot the guy that's threatening Joey, but I'm afraid that might have fiery consequences, which won't be going well for any of us. Let's see.
Couldn't hit a bump.
I would think while he's focused on Joey, I will try and get close enough to him to disarm him.
To get for that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have, if you want to spend one of your field agent edges, you can just race over and how do you propose disarming this guy?
I think when I smelled the gas, there was a moment of, and then sort of put the gun in my belt, on my back, and then I see the guy grab you, and I think to look around as like a nasty old plank of wood from some unfinished home refurbishment project. I'll just grab that and sort of approach from the darker side and just sort of bring it down on where he's holding the gun out.
Yeah, so what you actually didn't realize that there was a rusty nail driven into that board. So as you hit him, he kind of yanks his arm away, and it's now sticking out of it. He's taken 2 harm from this. You still have a move you can do. That was just a spend of your edge. He's screaming and drops the gun. The guy behind, he looks like he's about to. I don't get to make a move now, but that is likely what the next thing's going to be.
I will try and punch him in the face and knock him out.
The guy who is on the ground, or the guy
one who I just disarmed.
Oh, the boarded guy.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. So that'll be engaging combat.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What does it look like as you take this guy down?
Oof.
I think it'll be his field agent training kicking in. So he brings the plank down, lets go of it as he feels the impact, and then as he's like, "What the?" He just right in the face.
So Scar guy, he stumbles back and falls down unconscious. A board stuck to his hand, and Joey, looks like a gun just dropped in front of you.
Yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll try and hold it the right way around.
Well, that'll be on your turn, or that'll be when we get to your move. Unfortunately, the guy on the ground, he gets to make a move now.
Oh, is he still going? Oh, right.
Well, not the Scar guy is out. Beardo, who was checking on Uncle Sid, he sees you guys, and he is. I'm trying to decide what I think he's imminent to firing. He's going to get the gun out, and he's getting ready to fire on you guys. Agent Anderson or Joey, who would like to go next? Take a move.
I don't know. I sort of shout, "Grenade!"
Go ahead, give us a influence other roll.
This is how Joey stays alive. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
So again, just the sheer non sequitur-ness of this, just like what? Agent Anderson, what would you like to do?
I think that there's a millisecond of just amazement at how Joey manages to make it so. I almost believe for a moment that there's a grenade in the room. It's just so convincing when it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I will use a distraction to rush forward, and using my good shoulder, destabilize and make him essentially try and trip him.
Okay,
get a clear shot off.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give us a. How many edges do you have left from Field Agent?
I have 1 edge left from Field Agent.
Did you want to spend that to disarm this guy as well?
Oh yeah, I'll use it to disarm.
So that'll disarm, and then if you want to try and knock him down as well, so he doesn't get to immediately do something else awful, there is a hatchet that's readily available right now.
I guess disarm him and then try and knock him, shoulder bash him down.
So as you race over, you sort of scatter his gun to the side, and go ahead and give us a engage in combat. Let's see if you actually knock him over. Ooh. So subject to counterattack. I think he's gonna, as you grab him, he's gonna try and pull you down with him. So the unarmed, let's see here. I think knockdown still does 1 point of damage, doesn't it? No, it does not. So he is on the ground with no damage. For you, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to try and pull you down with him. So you can give us a avoid harm if you like.
Yes, sir.
Trying to avoid getting pulled down by this guy. Oof. So you do. But in the course of pulling free, your gun has fallen out of your holster and scatters to the thing, and he looks over and sees that. So there's now 2 guns he can potentially go for. The one that you knocked out of his hand, and then yours. Or at least the one you took from Uncle Sid. I think then it's my turn to take a move. So he is scrambling to go, and he grabs the race, scrambles over, having on the ground still, gets his hand on your gun. What would you guys like to do? So he's armed now.
I think Mike will just try and kick him in the face.
Okay.
If he's sort of scrambling on the ground for the gun and about to raise it, I think he'll just try and kick him in the face.
Go ahead, engage in combat. I'll give you a +1 to this because he is prone.
Don't enter the plus.
Whoa. What's it look like as you race over and hoof this guy?
I think it'll be very much sort of to the point, clearly with some extra frustration of how this mission has just gone absolutely foobar.
Yeah.
And then it just, no, normally he would obviously, try and arrest suspects and all of that, but that's out the window. This is more primal, so he just sort of stomps down and then just tries to survive this.
Yeah. So a solid kick leaves this guy completely unconscious. Joey, do you have a move you'd like to make, or did we drop out of the scene?
I was going to, because if it's sort of like action time, he probably would have been trying to go for the gun.
Sure.
That was at his, feet, effectively.
Yeah.
And he was praying and hoping that he wouldn't have to shoot it.
Okay. So you're in an interesting situation now then, because you are armed and Agent Anderson is not.
Yeah.
What happens next, guys? So you turn around, Mike, confirming this guy's unconscious. You look around and Joey's got the gun up. I don't think Joey's noticed the gas yet. You're the one who noticed it.
I think they'll slightly cock my head and go like, Joey, we cool, right?
Always cool. Always cool. Yeah.
Okay.
What's that? What's that smell? Is that you?
No, that'll be the gas pipe right next to you. That's just a point.
Yeah, you look over and now that like the yeah. Oh yeah, there's gas leaking into the basement, it seems.
Would you like yet another gun?
I reach down and pick up the two that are in front of me. I think I'm good for now, thanks. But you keep hold of that. Just don't fire it down here.
Curious,
Is there a way out? I don't want to fight through a house full of...
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a way out here.
I have one question for you, Anderson.
Yeah.
Where's your partner?
It's not me.
Agents don't act alone.
I know.
Why don't you give us a 2d10 roll?
Ooh.
Let's roll for your repressed memories.
So is that impacted by the stability penalty?
Yes, it is. Because you've got what's your stability level right now?
I'm at unfocused, which says -1 to disadvantage rolls.
Okay, yes. So that will give you a 2d10 -1 then, please. Okay, so you just need to keep it together. Memories partly resurface, taking the form of flashbacks and/or hallucinations. You can hear so tell me, who do you maybe describe for us what you think your partner looks and sounds like?
I think it'll be a new partner, someone younger, just sort of transferred across to. He'll try to remember what part of the FBI he's in, or if it's even the FBI.
Whatever, like gang and organized crime.
Yeah. So it'll be someone who's just sort of come up through, maybe like a fast track training, so very sort of hotshot, cocky, sure of themselves.
Yep.
Maybe this is our first mission. And
did they maybe excel in some other agency, and that's part of why they were fast tracked?
Yeah, he probably been like local gang enforcement, and was then fast tracked up to join the feds as sort of,
If you were to cast this person, I mean, do you have an actor or actress in mind that so we all have an easy shorthand for what this person looks like?
It's probably because I've recently watched Andor, but Diego Luna.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You can picture him shouting as someone is beating him pretty severely. And would you give us a keep it together roll? You think that this might have been when you were all taken. Oh. The strain is too much for your mind to handle. I choose your reaction. Cower, powerlessness in the threat's presence, panic with no control of your actions, suffer emotional trauma, or life-changing trauma. I think we're just going to go -2 stability for this.
Puts me down to distressed, yes.
Okay. what? Let's see here. Nice. -1 to keep it together, -2 to disadvantage rolls. What do we see as, Joey, maybe, I think what you'd said was we got to get out of here. And you realize what we means, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm about to sort of step forward to follow Joey when the memory sort of flashback and I freeze up for a moment and then hear the screams upstairs.
Yeah.
And
what do we see on his face, on Mike's face? Like, how do we register this drop in his stability?
I think he'll go white. His eyes sort of pupils dilated as of a shock.
Yeah.
And he'll sort of just almost lose focus for a moment and just stare and not follow Mike. Joey. It's like,
stay with me, Mike. Mike, stay with me. Come on, hold it together.
Joey, can you get out and call reinforcements? I need to go upstairs.
What? No,
Rodrigo.
you can't go there.
As soon as he says the name, you remember Joey like, oh, fuck, that was his name. Anderson used to have someone else who either you liked or disliked or whatever, and this is the new guy. You had completely forgotten about him.
Oh, what's going on with my head?
We can't just leave him here. There.
You can't go up there alone. You can't do that on your own.
But you need to go and get reinforcements.
Would they believe me? They all hate me downtown. They hate me.
Well,
he's not wrong.
Yes, they do. But if you explain the situation, and I'll reach into my pocket and take out my badge. If it's
badge is gone.
Oh.
ID's gone. Badge is gone. Wallet's gone. Yeah.
Fed you to the rats. I don't know. Okay, I can do it. I can try. Yeah. Okay.
Do we know how many? Do you know how many more of these are there? Like, I know there was a briefing and all, but I just can't remember how we got here. I don't even know where we are.
They're a biggish gang. I don't know.
Would you guys like to take a move to observe a situation? You might be able to ask me some broader questions. What I can tell you in the scene is that you can hear people upstairs still. There's sounds, and they also refer to, at least the two who came down, referred to Rebecca. You don't know who the heck that is, but it sounded like someone was in here. And to be clear, you haven't heard screams in the house yet. You just remember that when you were taken out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a very quick kind of violent encounter that led you guys to be captured in the first place, and you just don't know where the hell Rodrigo is.
Yeah, I think let's do some FBI, some actual investigation, and take a moment to take stock of where we are.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, are we kind of seeing through the illusion here? Are we sort of...
There's nothing unnatural that's going on as of yet.
Okay.
And that's more where the scene through the illusion is where that...
Right, it's just memory. It's just memories.
So investigate. This will be to try and remember what you were into before. So then looking at your analyst ability, because you also have...
It gives me additional questions.
Yeah, additional questions you can ask.
Can I help you?
I think he's on the cusp of it, sure. Like maybe if you're picturing you guys are kind of piecing this together, why don't you give us a help or hindering roll, Joey?
I'll try that. Help or hindering. Which attribute would you like me to use?
Good question. Investigate uses reason. So probably that, because you guys are trying to piece stuff together, right?
Yeah. That would be one way of doing it. I could let's go with the reason then.
Or perception. I mean, maybe you're looking around at looking at the tattoos on these guys, or
I could go for perception.
Sure.
If you want.
Either whatever you think, whatever your preference is, reason or perception.
I'll go reason.
Okay.
I'll try and pick it in there.
Yeah, you're just trying to remember right now, right? So.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. So you can modify by +2, which bumps you up into a 10. So there is no, I don't get to make a move. You get to ask one question. in addition to general information, I'll try and flesh out some more from it rather than just, this isn't like fucking Speak with Dead, you know, where you get like. What are you thinking?
I think the main thing Mike would like to remember is what kind of operation it was, in terms of, obviously if it's just me and my partner and Joey, he'll assume we weren't dealing with, or at least when we set up the job, we weren't dealing with that many people. Just trying to piece together if there's indeed like a medium-sized biker gang of dozens upstairs, or if the three down here, maybe just to the scope of the opposition that's maybe waiting upstairs.
I know that for one, we were trying to set them up for a bust.
You were, yes, yeah. What you know is it's actually less the Twin Kings was less of the thing you were interested in, and more there is some kind of like it's not even a loose organization, but there is a white supremacist organization called the Black Diamond that you have been investigating, which has connections cutting across the socioeconomic kind of spectrum. You're trying to build a stronger case against this thing. The Twin Kings seem to be one of those connections. It's an older, less well-known, older in the sense that this is one of those motorcycle gangs that dates back to the post-World War II era. Like one of the first kind of like vets returning, getting involved with this stuff. In fact, that the to the point where that predates it. But there is connections to the business plot where there were members of the kind of military industrial complex tried to finagle a coup against the U.S. government. These guys have been sort of lurking around, and you figured by trumping up a bust with one of these guys, this would give you a way of leveraging more information about the organization they're contacted with. Unfortunately, that did not go bad. Anderson, you've had recent experience to suggest there's something very bizarre and unnatural about this. Recently, the reason you had a new partner was in part because your last partner has gone missing while investigating this stuff. You, following another lead, were ambushed, kidnapped, and you faced what turned out to be a degenerate line of Massachusetts kind of backwoods folk who had somehow tamed a grizzly bear that they had wrapped in barbed wire. You managed to kill the thing. You are convinced now that you had hallucinated a bunch of other crazy shit, like hearing your ex-partner's voice coming out of the guts of this bear at one point, but obviously that was the trauma speaking. So you have a personal investment in finding what's going on with this Black Diamond. The fact that these guys have captured you, that Joey unfortunately did not know any of this stuff going into it. Joey was just aware that these were more, bikers who were making money off of, drug deals or whatever, effectively human trafficking. But yeah, that's where you know about these guys, and that's what the connection is. The fact that they would tattoo this Black Diamond thing on their chest is not unusual amongst these bikers, but the marking that you're seeing on this one biker, the Black Diamond with the Ouroboros around it, is a symbol you've seen on ink and other documents from other parts of this Black Diamond organization.
Mike will check the other two guys, just like the chest and face, to see if they also have the same Black Diamond and Ouroboros.
Very similar stuff, yeah. It's there's other, obviously, like each of their tattoos are kind of unique in it, but each of them have at some point black diamond in the middle of a Ouroboros with 2 crowns.
You're right, Joey. We should stick together.
Do you think that there is a? Do you think this is a sufficiently upsetting thing for Anderson to know that these, like, once again he's found himself captured. Once again he's lost a partner. I see you nodding. Why don't you give us a see through the illusion check, please?
Some sort of satanic biker cult.
So,
Mike.
You find what you hallucinate is that you are standing in a completely blackened forest. Somehow it's in such a way where there's a path that you're on. There is a moon overhead that is illuminating the path, but nothing more. In front of you, it seems to stretch off into darkness, and from that darkness, what staggers out is an enormous, mangy grizzly bear. The back of this thing is as tall as you. It's got to be older than your grandfather, from just how patchy and old this thing, and where, you know, how like an old dog looks with like mangy bits of hair missing and an eye that's cataract over. It's like that. But what you can see is that this thing has not lost any of its, unlike an old hound that might be wobbling around, this thing moves with the solidity and strength of an unmatched predator. And what you can also see is that pulled tight against the skin and fur of this thing are thick strands of barbed wire. And as this thing staggers forward, its one good eye, the gleam of the moon overhead catching it, you can tell that it's staring directly at you. And as its jaw opens up and slavering saliva and perhaps something else drools out of it, you can hear once again the soft voice of your former partner, Mike. And we're back in the basement. You are still kind of lost in this vision, and Joey, you can hear from outside of the kind of like dirty and newspapered over windows in the basement, you hear the roar of something that might be like, do these people keep fucking tigers here? There's some loud, huge animal that's kind of out there, and you spin around, you hear it roar. It sounds like it's almost like right outside the window. And you look back and you could see, well, David, what does he see as you're just lost in this vision?
I think he'll see Mike has one of the guns out, and is sort of pointing it off into the depth of the basement, sweating, pale, and probably just sort of mumbling, I know, I've killed you. You're not, this can't be happening, not again. So just sort of muttering to himself, just sort of gun pointed out. Mm-hmm.
Joey, it sounds like Mike is distracted by something. What are you doing? Well, I'm not sure you've seen him like this before. Mike, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Has he ever seen you this traumatized?
No, I think so far our interactions have probably been, Joey has been a useful informant. We don't really like each other, but you know, it sort of works. So I think it's probably the first time we're actually in deep trouble together.
And I think because of this vision too, you can roll to keep it together, but I think you're potentially suffering 4 stability loss because of that vision. So you can still try and keep it together.
Will it apply the penalty automatically?
I don't think so. No. It's a gorgeous character sheet. It's a shame that doesn't automatically do that. Look at that. So which of those do you think? You're not going to lose 4, but which of those do you think is how you're feeling?
No, it does. It did apply the penalty automatically because there's 2 -1s in there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's great to know.
15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in which case you are fully... What do we see as you bring yourself back out of this? It's as you say, I killed you already.
I think it'll be actually hearing my former partner's voice, which reminds me that I have to keep it together because there's my current partner, my new partner, is in danger, and that sort of snaps me out of it, and I back in the basement and sort of, no, there's no time for weird hallucinations.
Okay. So what I'll let you
Rodrigo is in danger.
One of the things you have in the game is you have relationships, like there are connections to different characters. Once per session, you can use those to try and recover stability. I think we'll let you recover 2 stability from that, so you can move yourself up on that based on what you described. So
unfocused again.
You did not hear what Joey heard. And Joey, what's going on with you? Are you focused on Mike, or are you kind of like looking from place to place to side to side?
I'm looking for the wild animal. The wild animal here?
And you see a shadow move outside, as if something moves past one of those newspapered over windows leading into the basement.
Mike, tell me you can hear this. Tell me you can hear this. This animal outside, big beast thing, growly. Yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't hear anything. We need to go and get Rodrigo.
I'm losing it. I am definitely losing this plot here. Okay, all right, let's go get him.
You mean like a dog, like a guard dog? I mean, as a gang, they will have dogs around.
Yeah, a very big guard dog guarding the gates of hell itself.
Well, let's hope we won't end up there.
Yeah, I don't know your heads it's got.
So, what would you guys like to do next?
The gas make our way upstairs.
I guess one thing you could do is, if you do wish to try and staunch the gas, that would probably be an act under pressure move, or you could just leave it. It's not going to explode automatically, or at least immediately. But you know what gas-powered houses often have? Gas-powered stoves.
I think certainly in the back of David's mind, I'm not sure if in the back of Mike's mind there is a scene where the house blows up later once we're all safely outside, but the way things have been going, I'm not sure we'll be safely outside when it happens.
Yeah.
No, I think Mike would be focused on getting Rodrigo out and getting out of here. So the gas thing is, as long as we don't, in his mind, as long as we don't fire guns down here, then hopefully we won't be much longer down here. So his focus that on the task at hand now.
Okay.
We might be able to use this later.
Okay. So what happens next then, guys? There's stairs leading back up to the main floor of this house. There is the entrance to the root cellar or storm cellar kind of entrance. 2 big doors that would flap open. You're not sure if they're sealed or locked from the outside or not, but...
Can we check Mike is about to go upstairs and then so has a moment. He's like, can we check the 3 people? Do they have mobile phones on them?
They probably do, yeah.
In that case, he will try.
SIDS would be one of those leather wrapped old things with the plastic on the front to dial the numbers in.
I think in which case Mike will not sure we have signal down here, but he would probably try and call back up.
Okay. So let's see. I think Anna. Oh,
yeah.
I would have let it go, but Anna says I think that's an act under pressure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about using devices. I mean, you can't use them at gas stations, so I look nervously.
Oh, for the yeah. Oh, that's a good point, actually.
You're right.
Oh. So that's it. So I guess that it's a decision for you then. That will be the potential consequence of acting under pressure. You're about to maybe dial this thing, and Joey puts his hand over it ah.
I think Joey would, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing Mike is unfocused. I'm honest about unfocused.
Yeah.
Just and then as you put your hand down, he's like, he'll take it, so to hopefully maybe upstairs once we're out of the gas zone.
Yeah.
But he'll be like, oh, let's just get out of here. And
Okay.
he'll head up the stairs.
Okay. How is he making his way up the stairs? Are you guys making any effort to try and be quiet? Are you, making noise? Are you, FBI, everyone down kind of thing? Or
No, I think that's possibly what got us into this trouble in the first place, acting prematurely. So I think he'll try and avoid the creaking bits as much as possible.
okay.
And slowly make his way up.
Yeah, so that's going to be, since you guys are working together on this, maybe what we'll do is, it sounds like acting under pressure, but I like your idea, Joey, of helping or hindering. So someone could take the lead with the act under pressure move. Or alternatively, what you could do is, you still have options from your burglar, right?
I do have one option left from burglar. Yes.
Yeah, so what we could do is you could just automatically get that and see Joey could roll for helping or hindering to try and tag along with taking your lead. So either way,
So I can do
That'd be coolness.
you avoid being discovered by someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Joey just be coolness. I think everyone's injuries are treated right now, so nice. So because it's helping, though, there isn't any I don't get to make a move or make anything complicated for you. So I think it's just a matter of but we'll see. I'll bank that and I'll let you know what maybe what might come from that. So what do we see as you guys well, I guess what you can find, you can tell us how your characters enter into there, is on the main floor. It looks like where this enters up into is a shitty old kitchen with there's a sink full of plates and shit like that. There is enough seats at this table to make you think that there were 4 people who were sitting here. There are cards strewn across there, along with half-drunk beer or whiskey or some kind of liquor. You can hear that there are other people upstairs. This house seems to have more than one floor. But in here, you also see that there is a shotgun that is sitting on the counter, unattended right now. You would guess that the 3 seats and the 3 hands of cards that were dealt there are the 3 that are now downstairs, and the 4th one, you're not sure what's happened there. So as you come up onto this floor, what you can also see is that from here, from the kitchen, you can have a view out back, and what you can see is that there is a barn not far from here, where it looks like there are 2 other people who are talking. There's vehicles and motorcycles, like pickup trucks and motorcycles and stuff that are kind of parked in the yard out here in a kind of a haphazard kind of way. Everything has that dilapidated kind of quality to it that looks like it has not been maintained by 2 generations worth of people, but everyone still keeps making use out of it. Apart from the 2 kind of bikers that are hanging outside there, you can see light from within the barn, so it looks like some people may be in there. But otherwise, apart from people upstairs and the people outside that barn, there doesn't appear to be any obvious other person out here. There's a massive untended field behind here that very quickly leads into a tree line that has clearly been let grow in for quite some time. You're in the boonies. You have no earthly idea where you are right now. What would you guys like to do next?
Take the shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take the shotgun, yeah. The bikes and vehicles give us an indication of the numbers that are here.
Yeah, there's 3. It looks like there are probably 6 motorcycles, and there are 3 pickup trucks.
Okay, yeah.
And then, so for the shotgun, it has 3 ammo, For 1 ammo, you can do a snapshot to do 3 points of damage. For 2 ammo, you can do 3 damage to a small group that is close to each other all at once. It does 3 if you're in the same room as them, 1 at a long distance. So it's for all those things. 3 up close, 1 inch long. But 3 damage, everyone up close uses 2 ammo.
Okay.
So.
We can't see what I would assume would be my vehicle, or like
not from
something we
here,
use
no. But there
to-
is like
okay,
there's
so-
a living room on this floor. There's probably a bedroom on this floor, and there are stairs leading upstairs as well. From here, you can probably access a common hallway.
Yeah. We should try and clear this place, work out what's here.
Yeah, do a quiet sweep of the floor we're on.
Okay.
Try not to attract the voices upstairs.
I think you guys hear the sound of a flushing toilet.
Dog? Oh, okay.
Yeah, dog. And always wants to play her part. You can then hear the sound of creaking from upstairs. Sounds like someone used an upstairs washroom. And they're going to be moving their way down the stairs momentarily. You guys can continue to remain unspotted or unseen, if you'd like. And if you feel that you are in a tight spot, Joey, I'd let you trigger or try and trigger Ace up the sleeve again. Though, again, that has consequences for a 9 or less.
Yeah. We'll see what comes down.
Okay.
See. Yeah.
The way the hallway leads into the kitchen, is it possible to sort of hide and ambush someone walking in?
Yeah,
I'm thinking
I
sort
think
of
so.
next to the door and then gun to their head and try to sort of take them by surprise.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, but I think that would be acting under... Oh, you're remaining unseen. Let me think here. I think the actual act of trying to ambush him, that's probably the acting under pressure thing. Yeah, so you're going to be able to get yourself in position to do so. So, Mike, you maybe gesture to Joey to move in that position. Joey, is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'll just do as I'm told. Get out of the way. Out of the way.
So you get in there and you can tell this place it's the kind of place that, like, people clearly don't give a shit about the conditions in here. There's stuff sitting all over. There's plates that are, have dried food on them. You're able to hide in this place right next to where the living room is. And you wait. You hear someone come down, creaking. Each footstep. They've got, it sounds like, booted footprints as well. They don't seem to have a care in the world either. It's that kind of like one step, then clop, 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 kind of merrily making their way back down. And then you hear a man's voice once again. None of you looked at my cards, right? Better not. And then it sounds like they're at the level where you're going to be able to jump out. What would you like to do?
Mike will wait till they've stepped into the room so he can just put the gun the shotgun next to the head.
Okay, so go ahead and give us an act under pressure. We'll give you a +1 to this from Joey's help from before. All right, so here's what happens is you definitely get the gun right up against his head. And Joey, you see out of the corner of your eye movement from the barn. The door to the barn is slid open. It's one of those like sliding doors as opposed to like opening up. And what you see is an older woman, white woman, her hair pulled back in kind of a do-rag thing. She's wiping her hands off with some kind of cloth. It looks like there's a lot of blood that she's wiping off of her hands, and she's flanked by 2 guys who could easily double for, Scarface and Beardo downstairs. She walks out and mentions something to the 2 other guys who are guarding, and they look like she and the 2 ones flanking her are starting to make their way towards the house. This guy, however, freezes. He seems completely shocked by what's going on. Joey, would you like to make a move?
Could I just quickly see if he's obviously armed?
He definitely is. Another gun.
I'll take the gun from him.
Okay, so you grab the gun from him. They're starting to make their way towards the house. It'll be probably a minute before they actually reach here. What would you guys like to do?
Okay.
So you got this guy, gun to his head. He also, same thing, looks like very much like these other guys. If you know what Tom Savini looks like, I think he's the guy who does the makeup stuff for, a ton of different horror films. Let me see here.
Is he a machine gun guy from Dusk Till Dawn?
I think so, yeah.
The one with the cut piece. Yeah, I think I know you, yeah.
Yeah. That's Tom Savini.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He dies great in films, so I'm assuming that this character is not necessarily long for this world. So he kind of looks at you guys like, hey guys, if you wanted to be dealt in, you just had to let us know.
I put the gun close to him and say, like, where's my partner? Where's the other agent?
Oh, he looks down. Oh, actually, why don't you give us a influence other?
There you go.
I could. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, if that's what you want, I mean, that's he. All you had to do was ask. Hey, nothing. They're just outside.
Where is he?
We bring you over to him, no problem. I think he's mostly in one piece still. If not, we can pack up the pieces and you can take him with them, right? Joey, would you like to do anything?
Can I just get to the side of him and just knock him out?
Yeah. Just give us.
To be honest, Joey will be very thoughtful about this because he's crap at anything like this.
Yeah.
So he's literally going to just try to get. If he thinks he can get to a point where he's obviously concentrating on the shotgun at his face, I'm going to just literally club him on the back of the head with the pistol butt.
Why don't you give us a engage in combat at +2? It's not that, and it's not that you're necessarily going to fail this. It's just there may be some consequences from this.
Yeah, it really is not his thing.
It's really not his thing.
Ooh,
nice.
Not bad for him.
So what happens is you hit him, but unfortunately it takes 2 hits, and the first one he does get to cry out.
Yeah, I was going to say, does the gun go off? But okay.
Yeah, that's what honestly, if you roll a failure, what would have happened is you would have hit him right in the back of the head as the gun goes off into his head. So, but yeah, you hit him, and he cries out and drops down. And because Joey, you were the one who noticed it, you look outside and you can see that the lady, she stops and gestures to her. Yeah, so her 2 thugs. Each of them draws a gun. So they seem forearmed. She seems to be moving a little bit behind them. And so Mike, he has dropped to the ground. They're now starting to fan out, and she turns back and shouts at the 2 who are watching. One stays there, one is coming over with her. That's what they're doing. They're seeming to fan out around the house kind of thing, and each come in. She has a gun out as well. You guys can make moves now. What would you like to do?
I think Mike would take a moment to get the phone out.
Okay.
And try and phone the FBI. I realize no one will get here in time to possibly save us, but it'll try and phone. And if he gets through and does an urgent, this is agent number, he'll then try and slide the phone under a piece of furniture so they can trace the call.
Okay.
So even if we might not get saved in time, they'll hopefully be able to, take this gang down.
So let me ask you this, as a long-term resident of Scotland, you remember what it's like driving through the northern parts of Scotland?
Yeah. No, that's
no service. So there'll
be some inventive cursing.
Yeah. So yeah, the phone definitely works. It's got power, but right now it's got no bars. So you might want to keep it on you to see if there's somewhere else you can get to.
Shall we blow the house? Bring them in, blow the house, and to do it that way? I don't know. What do you think? I say, eyeing the gas stove to my right.
Yes. Rodrigo seems to be in the barn. There's no one else in here. send them all to hell.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that. That's the best plan we've got. Oh, open all the
Sure.
rings.
So we see you doing that. I think that's going to be an act under pressure once again. Act under pressure is honestly the perception of of this game. It seems like so many things end up under that rubric. If you're acting together on it, we'll give a +1. This is not a matter of whether it goes off or not. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the outcome is of the move.
Yeah. Because I could take us all.
Who is so you? Well, one of you make the move for that, and then we'll have someone else make the move for what you guys choose to do for getting out of here.
Okay, I'll do the gas if you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. At least see how effectively I'm going to do that. I've got a couple of edges, I think, still. Do I still have those?
Oh, you've not rolled for ace up your sleeve yet. You've got your Sixth Sense. I think you got one option for Sixth Sense left.
It was act first in a threatening situation.
So that actually might be helpful for you getting out of here.
Out, yeah.
What do you think?
Should I bank that?
You haven't rolled for ace up your sleeve yet.
No.
Which also could be...
you spot a way out. Spotting a way out could be useful.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to roll for ace up your sleeve?
Go on. Let's do it.
So that'll be coolness. I've already got an idea for what happens if I have a move. Is that action? Okay, so 11, one edge. Okay, so no consequences. You got one edge you can spend any way that you got up in your back pocket. So would you like? Are you still gonna be the one to roll for the setting the gas, or do you want to?
Perhaps I'll be the one to find the way out. Then I'm obviously thinking about that. Do the gas.
Yeah.
I think there's an exit over here.
I think if anyone knows how to get out of a dangerous situation, it does seem like Joey.
Joey would be
not his first time. I just say not his first time to the rodeo. So then, Agent Anderson, would you give us a act under pressure move, please? Beautiful.
This is probably the tensest I've ever been.
Yeah. All right, so you've got all the elements are on right now. Little blue flames illuminate on each of them. Joey, what have you found as your way to get out of here?
Okay, basically, as they're coming into the house, on the other side of the house, there's basically a big latch open window.
Okay.
And I reckon we can just pull that and literally dive out.
Awesome. Sounds reasonable to me. So with your ace up the sleeve, that'll give you +2 to the roll for act under pressure. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, act under pressure. Cool. Okay, and with the +2, oh, come on, baby, come on. Yes.
So, what do we see? I was gonna see if they may have thought of that and be watching the side, but you guys both move your way over and open up the window. You can almost see the guy. Like maybe what we see is the guy, walk up to the side, walks up the porch leading to the front door, and then we see the thing open and Joey's head sticks out. It's like, come on. So what do we see as you guys making your way away from the house, around the house, before it goes up?
I think you just keep low and don't look back, cool guys, don't look at explosions. So just
yeah. So you guys are making your way over, and suddenly the whole fucking house just all of it goes up. It's built almost as if it's designed to explode in a particularly cool way. Flinders go flying all over the place. Bits of board go flying, and it's in the film version of this, we would see a low shot of the last person walking in, the door kind of hitting against them, and then someone noticing the stove is on before it all goes off. It was that old woman, incidentally, who noticed the stove. So she and all of her thugs, apart from the one watching the barn, are gone. So with all of that cooked off, we've got the one guy watching the barn who's kind of like knocked to the ground. He's getting up, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. What are you guys doing?
I hope it got the three-headed dog.
What are you on about?
Big dog. It's still out there. I think it might still be out there.
I think Mike will be heading to the barn.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll sort of. It's not necessarily entirely. It doesn't matter that much right now, but seeing as far as he knows, there's just the one guy who's been knocked over, so he'll be heading over with the shotgun, going FBI.
Okay.
Giving himself an option not to do something stupid at this stage.
Sure. So if you're going to walk through, we can kind of see, like, in the aftermath, this guy's getting up. He's outside the barn. There's all these 3 pickup trucks. There's a bunch of motorcycles which are now knocked down from the blast wave from it. You come walking out of this stuff. Why don't you give us an influence other roll? I'll give you a +1 on this just because he's got to be completely shocked as to what the hell's going on. Ooh, he's not. So he's not attacking just yet, but you can see he's looking around, trying to decide what to do. And he seems to be...
Yeah. Okay.
Joey, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to back him up. So basically, there's another gun pointing at him. So
okay, so you come screaming out of there. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, I'm sort of blackened face, hair is all up, big bulging eyes, because Joey's got big bulging eyes. He says, "Yeah, make a decision quick. Make a decision quick. Do you really want to live?"
So give us a charisma roll. This will be helping or hindering. Let's see if this pushes you
helping
over.
and hindering. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me just take that off. Cancel that. Helping and hindering.
Because he's only 1 off from getting a full-on success on this.
Okay, I'm there.
Look at that.
You beauty.
So this guy just like lets the gun drop from his hand and he puts both his hands up. What happens next then with this guy?
I'll stay in front of him and I'll say to Mike,
Yeah.
well, we need to have at least one alive.
I think Mike would keep heading to the barn, but we'll look at Joey sort of nod and see if he has keys for and motion to the pickup trucks.
Okay, so I'll
as he heads to the barn.
Or anything.
Yeah, he's got keys to... With this guy, he's low on the totem pole, so he probably has keys to a pickup truck instead of a motorcycle. Right?
Okay.
Important people aren't left behind to watch the door.
No.
Okay. So he... and this one seems younger. He's not... this guy's not the... he's in his late 20s.
Well, I'll take his gun. The gun that he's dropped.
He dropped on the ground, so you got yet another gun.
Yeah, I'll take it away.
Okay. How do you want to secure this guy?
I will motion him to come inside the barn with us.
Okay. So you bring him inside the barn, and what you find, let's see here. I think Joey, just by virtue of how awful the state that Rodrigo is in, let me just double check the severity of this.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Oh, it's not that one. It's that one.
It wasn't a bust, it was a boom.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. It'll be 2 for you, Joey, and 4 for you, Mike. You can make a roll, try and keep it together. You see how badly tortured that Rodrigo has been.
I'm going to have to try, yeah.
Do we add the 2 or 4 as a penalty to this roll, or is that just the consequence?
No. That's only for harm that you applied as a penalty.
Harm.
Yeah, it's just a consequence that you will suffer if you fail. All right, Mike. So how are you? It's going to be a -1. Okay. How do we think? So I guess let's see how does Joey, do you think, react to this?
Just sort of like, this is worse than I've seen.
So, tell me if this is wrong. Seeing what he's in, Joey, for the first time, is fucking silent. and without thinking, just turns and shoots this guy in the head.
Yeah, okay.
So the last biker is now no longer an issue. Mike, how are you feeling at this? Do you think the reaction is angry, sad, scared, guilt-ridden? Does this...
I'm thinking guilt-ridden. It's happened again, and
yeah,
his second partner he's lost, and obviously this was meant to be like a...
He's younger, not dead. That's the worst part. He's not dead.
Wow.
But he's... It's unlikely that he's going to be able to rejoin the service at any point. And the thing that is the most surprising in here is there is a very old flag that is hanging over. And I want you to picture it it's the same kind of black diamond with the Ouroboros around it and the twin crowns. But all the styling and the colors have the look, and the age of this thing have the distinctive quality of like Third Reich memorabilia. It's that distinctive red, that jet black, the brilliant white, but this is clearly an aged flag that is hanging down, the kind of thing that would hang at rallies or ceremonies perhaps, hanging down from the second floor of this barn over this stuff. There are candles and whatnot around in here, black candles, of course. And it looks like there are a collection of like scribblers, like the old, like, not wire, even predating the wire-bound ones, the kinds that kids would use in like the 40s or 50s. There's stuff that's set around on a table where a bunch of implements are set that clearly have been put to use on Rodrigo. There also are markings on the ground around him. And there's just a feeling of unnaturalness here. You can both. I think you've both been quite traumatized by this. Oh, and Joey, you can reduce your stability by 2 as well.
Got it.
And
unfocused.
You can both now give us a see through the illusion roll. Mike, what level? Where are you at for your stability right now?
I'm unfocused.
Okay, so you're holding it together pretty well. Anna says congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're taking no more. And Joey, where are you right now?
I am unfocused.
Unfocused as well. Great. So you guys are not rolling no penalties or bonuses here. Go ahead and give us a see through the illusion roll.
Would my guilt-ridden penalty apply to this?
To this, I don't think so. No, because guilt-ridden also only applies to keep it together. Those things only apply to.
OSC, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So here's what you see without any like deleterious effect to you. You're seeing this clearly, and it's not unnerving you. In the motes of dust that hang in this, like the elements of hay or something like that, what you can see almost is there are wisps of tendrils, tentacles, something pulling at Rodrigo. And above there, I think, Joey, you see a tiger vaguely in form, but horrifically mutilated. Mike, you see a bear. Again, that same thing with the wrappings in it, only in both cases, the chest cavity of it has been split open as if it was rent, and there's more space inside there than should be possible. And this thing, it almost as if like it's pulling at Rodrigo and trying to pull him into there. You can each hear, Joey, that roar you heard outside of the barn, and Mike, you can hear the roar of that bear that you heard in that long and lonely diner that you found yourself trapped in months ago. It seems as if something else is in here, but cannot manifest short of completing this blasphemous ritual. What are you guys doing?
I think Mike would be just running forward to get to Rodrigo and save him or see what can be done.
Yeah, so you race over and start pulling things off of him. Joey, what are you doing?
Probably looking. Probably he doesn't understand what he's seeing, so he may well, if he can see the tendrils and the smoke, he may well shoot at it.
Okay. So
try and hurt it in some, because he doesn't understand what he's saying.
So you empty the what's left in that revolver, and maybe like gun by gun because you've collected like 3 on you too. So that and none of those things. And I think that one of the with such a good roll on it too. I imagine you found your voice once again. So you're fucking jabbering away as this is happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And Mike, would that you have the wherewithal to pay attention to what Joey is saying. You may have had more idea of what the truly like Olympic level cursing that he is achieving with this tirade he's having against this thing. But what he also does is, as he stumbles forward, he kicks some of the implements that are set down before this, and really, as soon as that binding is gone, it goes. And I imagine in your mind, Joey, you shot it out to go away.
Yeah, I shot it away. Yeah.
Okay. Then, with the house blown up, with all of the bikers within dead, with the other one executed by Joey, and with Rodrigo irretrievably damaged, it seems, or at the very bare minimum in desperate need of physical and mental health care, how would you guys like to end the session?
I have to get out of here.
Hearing Jerry say that, I think I will hand him the phone. Just say, drive till you get a signal.
Yeah.
And then go back to focusing on Rodrigo and trying to keep him alive and stabilize him and just...
Okay. And Joey, what do you do?
If I can find any gun that's still got any ammunition in it, I'll take it with me.
I will do easily, yeah. You maybe go to like.
Is it dark?
It was daylight when you guys were out. So it could be if it's cooler. It could be as sun is going down that you're getting into the vehicle.
I quite like that. So I get into the vehicle. Start the vehicle. Hopefully it starts. I wheel out down this sort of dusty trail out to the sort of road. And there's a scene as I'm sort of basically zooming away with the lights on, and the sun is just going down, and the trees there's a sort of trees are sort of darkening, and they have this sort of tendril quality as I'm driving away.
And as the radio crackles and comes to life, what's the song that comes on?
And
there's no need to be clever here. Hack is totally fine.
Okay, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually a sort of 1998, sort of a 1980s number, and it'll be a Blondie track. We'll just suddenly almost in concert.
Oh yeah, you know what it is? It's oh god, what's that horrible one where she raps?
It doesn't work, does it?
Well, I think the Discord, it's a very weird song. It starts off with that sort of like there's a heavy bass line that goes along. The satellite radio station I listen to plays that song all the goddamn time, and like I love every 80s song on that station except for that and anything by the Stray Cats. So that's maybe what plays up the what's it called? Gosh.
Is it Rapture?
Yes, I think that's what it is.
There it is. Released January 12th, 81.
Yep. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that it is. And it's the early parts of the song are actually kind of like, it's the same quality of Blondie, of that like that's sing-songy, ethereal voice that she's got. So yeah. Incredible. All right, so that brings our impromptu cult session to a close. So, David, that was your first time playing Cult. What did you think?
Absolutely loved it. When is the next session?
Fantastic.
That brawl in the basement it perfectly encapsulated every sort of horror movie where you're up against some sort of almost indomitable force of nature and then just scrambling madly. I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome. And so Grim, you have a frame of reference of other experiences with the with Cult, but that's, I mean, so you're gonna be in the same boat as me. This is exactly the thing I fucking love about running this game. Like, you can definitely prep stuff and like you would with any other game, and it would benefit from that. But I absolutely love that, like 3 minutes before we start playing, we're like, all right, let's jump in and we'll just go from there and have a totally satisfying, a full little story.
Yeah, I love it. And I what I liked was the sort of in media res and sort of claustrophobic nature to it. It's good fun.
Oh, definitely. It's funny because the last couple of scenes, the last couple of times I've run it, like the references I was made or the allusions I was making to your previous thing, that's because yesterday we played with Robert and he played this character, and that's sort of the events of that session. So again, being lazy to revisiting old stuff, but it gave it was both sessions had more a lot more action in them than what I've tended to do in the past, and I've shied away from more action in the times I've run it before because I was worried about I'm not sure how well developed the combat would feel and if it would feel like that, but both times, I think because you're so, Robert and I talked about this afterwards, because you're so in the fiction, I think that even though there's not there are some neat options you've got with your weapons and the outcome of the ways you choose to do it, it feels still very exciting and very engrossing, right? Even though you're effectively doing the same move over and over again.
I wasn't really looking at the moves. I was thinking about what my character would be trying to do.
Yeah.
And the moves followed, which is kind of how it should be, really.
Oh, totally. And the ass kicking that Mike got at the beginning with a continual
was amazing.
so good.
I loved it.
But yeah, it's
having a good day.
It's a great, and again, we didn't take advantage of any of the other, there are no dramatic hooks in this one. You didn't get the XP. I love that your characters advance in this game as well, so you can actually get new advances. You could change your stats and whatnot. So it has for there's nothing wrong with playing a game where you don't get advancement or all you're doing is moving one or two things up mechanically. But I like that there's other cool stuff you get to pick and do as you go. And that includes, I haven't seen this in any of the games I've run thus far, but it includes gaining access to magical abilities and such like that. So if you're playing that kind of horror game where it makes sense that you would want to delve into shit, you can, go down that path. I mean, it's going to end poorly probably, but that depending on whether you want to keep it in that relatively grounded level of horror or you want to go into something more, where characters are getting more ensconced in that stuff, you certainly can go either route with the game. Mm-hmm. So awesome.
Yeah, I felt the once we got out of the house and to the barn, it had a very sort of True Detective season 1.
That's totally where my head was.
Feel to it, which I absolutely loved.
I love it because that scene, Will, who we play with on. I'm not sure if you guys have played with Will yet, but Will plays on the Wednesday games and he plays on the Saturday morning guard games. But Will's picture is always when his his camera cuts out is Carcosa. So I always hear that guy, the scumbag hillbilly, child abuser who's like Carcosa every time I see Will's thing flesh out. So that's great. Awesome. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this impromptu session of Cult. I called this session, incidentally, House Guests in the Hills. I should probably change that of the Hillbillies, but or guests of the Twin, what I call the Twin Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns around the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, I mean, it's not a campaign, but the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to story games in general, where I've been talking about Kult lately, and there's channels dedicated to most other games we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other great channels, finding a group, advice on conventions online and in person, selecting between virtual tabletops and just general, role-playing game discussion. Tons of great people over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to the our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an amazing selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. I'm telling them, Anna. If you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, you'll save 10% on that by entering the code SPRINGMUSER, all caps, all one word. And if you're listening to this after July 1st, 2023, come back to one of our more recent videos and you'll find a list of the or find a more recent discount code. And if they don't have in stock what you're looking for, you can often put it on a want list, and then they will send you an email when it comes in. We also have a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's a charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, really amazing organization, active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts at the time of recording in Ukraine and the surrounding countries. There are a number of things. Starting this weekend, we'll be opening up voting for our next charity session. If you donated $10 or more since June 1st, you'll be able to help vote on the next session, or actually the next 3 sessions of our year-long Year of Ill Omens campaign. The first 3 sessions have been shaped by the donors, and for the first half of the year, and we visited, some a crew of pirates during the age of golden age of piracy. We've traveled to the first century of the Roman Republic, and we have visited the the early years of the Boxer Rebellion in China thus far. So where will we go next, and what kind of adventures will we see? Well, donors will be able to help shape that starting this weekend. And then between now and the end of July, when we'll be playing that session, they'll be able to vote on different elements as we go along. In addition, at the end of the year, we'll be having our next charity raffle, and if you donated $25 or more through that link, then you'll be having one chance to win grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle at $25. Each $25 gives you one chance to win, and you'll also have a chance to vote on the charity sessions. Head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel of the Dungeon Musings Discord server to learn all more about that. Last thing I always say is a huge thank you to our fledgling cultists. So David and Graham, thank you so much for diving in. What a fun pickup session. I always have a blast running this game, particularly with great role players, and you guys did a hell of a job of making this a very enjoyable 3-hour session. So thank you guys.
Yeah, loved it.
Awesome.
Great.
So then, for those listening at home, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time to return to our crew of the Rift Wanderer and back to our Traveler session. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the many, many, many troubles that bedevil our stalwart scoundrel and FBI agent in the dark and doomed world of Kult. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.